Well, hello. This, maybe it'll get a little interesting. We'll see what we got. And I haven't been live for a couple of days. Always appreciate you guys when you show up and you're live, and always appreciate everybody that comes and watches it later. It's been a crazy couple of days. Damn. Yeah. Don't even say. But no, some damn crazy. I just freaky dreams. A little bit weird, a little bit hard to understand. That's for sure. But no, just kind of waiting to get started on anything until some people get here. Oh goodness.
And do you think it's a good idea to really teach that history also?
Man, I got some good stuff. I feel like, hey, how's it going? How's it going? Good to see you here. Had a couple of things waiting for somebody to show up to start anything. Had a couple of different things. That's kind of hard what to start with, but I guess here we go. Well, hello. Good to see you guys here. You guys, do me a favor and give me a thumbs up if you can, if it's not too much trouble. Supposedly it helps other people see this. But I wanted to go over a short video here and just kind of go from there. A little bit of basis. Hey, thanks for the thumbs up. Much appreciated. But you guys, like you guys have something to say. 90% of the time, thank you. I will stop the video and we'll go over what you said. So let's just go over this. I had a whole bunch of stuff and we'll just kind of see what it is. All right, I love you guys. Thank you for being here. Sorry.
Hello, everyone. My name is Joe, and today's title is Warning. You have all been programmed, all right? And you have, including myself, okay? I'm not exempt here. But this is a serious video. Again, I mirrored another video from the Feed Your Mind channel, all right? I apologize for not putting out my own content here, but when I see a video
Exactly.
and I support it,
Exactly.
I want to share it with you. So this is a great video that I mirrored. He's going to talk about how pretty much we are all slaves to the government system. Think about it, everybody. Like, you see a homeless person on the street and the sign says, "We'll work for food." Well, guess what? So will you. We all do. We all have to work for food. We have to feed into the government system, the taxes, all of it. I get it, okay? But we've learned to accept this. Without spoiling too much in the video you're going to see, but he talks about, it takes us 12 years through high school. We might learn advanced math and calculus and stuff like that you're never going to use. And then you go to college, or let's say you're going to be a doctor, okay? Now you're going to med school. It's taking you 10 years of your life to become a doctor. It's like everybody, the government's keeping you busy and you're paying taxes. And I don't know, let me just say this to you. Like, I'm retired, and hang on, I'm getting it here again. So he also said in the end of the video, he says,
yeah, right.
To pretty much kind of escape the system like that is to become self-employed. And that's what I did for over 20 years. Right? I was my own boss.
Okay. Really, Ann? Sorry, you're just interrupting this, and I don't mind. But really, hey, the president said hello to me, Ann. If he really did, bitch, you are gonna blow up so fucking fat. Oh, I'm so happy. Nice. Oh my god, you lucky bitch. I'm so happy for you. I told you you were doing good. I told you you were blowing up. I told you you're going to be bigger than me. Shit, you're going to be bigger than me in about 2.5 minutes. Shit. Hey, just give me a shout out here and there. I'm proud of you, love. That's awesome. So fucking proud of you, Ann.
Nobody told what to do. I set my
Annie,
own hours.
sorry,
If I don't
Annie.
want to work on a weekend, I didn't take weddings. I went on vacation.
So proud of you.
He also talks about geographical. When you're in a career and you're submitting to a corporation, you're pretty much stuck in that general geographical area for your whole life sometimes.
It's her channel. You can just click on her and you'll see it.
And that's all I'm going to say to you. But for me, I was self-employed. I am retired now. I have a lot of time.
Okay. Well, this guy's just about to drop this and show what's going on. But yeah, no, just click on Annie, click on her little picture, and you'll see who she is. And you can, if you're not following her already, I've told you guys all the time, follow her. I'm so proud of you. But today just got new 5 minutes ago. I was on H.H. Goodman live chat, and he said, "Hi, Annie." That's crazy. And are you sure that it's not somebody like faking it? Because I've seen some things like that, and I wasn't sure if it was fake or not. And I'm like, is that really the president commenting on this or that? Forget what it was, but I was like, whoa, this is something that I was on. But no, I hope that's really true, because seriously, girl, you're going to blow up.
I am awake. I'm very awake. Put the flat earth aside. I mean, that the earth is flat, that's already been proven. NASA has been proven that NASA never went to the moon, and they're full of lies, all right? I don't really have to make another million videos to try to prove that to you. I'm awake. Again, the earth is flat, and NASA never went to the moon. Those are the two hot topics on YouTube right now, all right? But enjoy this video. It will wake you up, okay, some of you. If you're in a younger generation, I would encourage you to go self-employed, okay? You can make as much money as you want, as little as you want, moderation, balance your family. If you get married, have children. I did that, actually, My kids never saw a daycare center, My kids were napping when they were little, and I was editing weddings, okay? Then I would feed them and change diapers and take them for walks and things like that. So I had it made. Thank you.
Good job, girl. Like I said, I'm so proud of you. That is...
It was great. I had a great
time. That is insane. You know what I bet? Okay, yeah, he's about to start this video, but you know what I bet? You have really been dropping a lot of good walk away videos. So I kind of wonder, I'm like, somehow, because, come on, he's got hundreds of people working and looking at what the fuck is going on. And I wonder if somehow somebody came across your ass and literally was like, dude, this girl is putting out the best, walk away videos, because you have been doing a very good job at that. And that's why, your channel has been growing. But that is funny as hell. But like I said, I can never say how proud of you I am. It has just been indicted. Oh, fucking Tony Podesta just got indicted. Well, have been. Oh my god, I can't wait for all this shit to go down, girl. I can't wait. I know we're just little nobodies, but doesn't it feel good that somehow we were a little bit part of opening people's eyes? And especially, like you said, you getting actually contacted by the president or your video or whatever. That is fucking dope. Love you, girl.
This video, it's good stuff. Please leave your comments, okay? Remember to serve the Lord, love one another, forgive one another, and enhance your relationship with Jesus. All right? That's it. I'm out. Check out the video. I'm not coming back on. Have a great day.
Top of the week, y'all. The English language is full of curses and spells, hence why we learn how to write in cursive and how to spell in grade school. Each week we awake in the morning to go to our jobs on the weekdays to earn a living. The translation of that, trance, Trance, awake is a funeral for the dead. Mourning is what you do when you lose a loved one. You have to be in a weekdays to earn a living, since earn is the ashes, since earn are ashes for the dead. And job is Hebrew for persecution. And at the end of this, we get the weekend of the deal, and we're weakened. So, happy Monday.
All right, so we gotta watch that at least one more time, right? This brother,
the translation of that,
this brother just dropped down some real fucking knowledge. And I'm going to tell you guys,
That's
you listen,
it. I'm out.
you
Check
listen
out
to
the
this
video.
quick,
I'm not coming
right?
back on. Have a great day.
Open your ears, open your minds.
Top of the week to y'all. The English language is full of curses and spells, hence why we learn how to write in cursive and how to spell in grade school. Each week we wake in the morning to go to our jobs on the weekdays to earn a living. The translation of that, trance, Trance, awake is a funeral for the dead. Mourning is what you do when you lose a loved one. You have to be in a weekdays to earn a living, since earn is ashes, since earn are ashes for the dead. And job is Hebrew for persecution. And at the end of this, we get the weekend of the deal, and we're weakened. So, happy Monday.
Hello, everybody. You were listening to Feed Your Mind, and this is a brainstorm episode. And so, do you see the trickery that has been programmed into your minds on the subconscious level? You see how these play on words about the work week and jobs have specific words and meanings that we use every day that have entered into your mind without even realizing it? You have been programmed, and your reality has been programmed for you since you were born. Do you really think it's normal for most of the houses on your block to be empty all day while the whole family unit is busy serving a
Thanks for the
corporation?
thumbs up.
Children are
How about
at
everything
public
being on
schools
fire? Yeah.
indoctrinated? You see, all of this seems real normal and just the way things are, but really it's not. There's more going on than what meets the eye. You are being controlled. It's not just the way it is. This life that you are living has been specifically set up for you to keep you in a matrix reality, if you will. Don't you remember as a kid being asked, what do you want to be when you grow up? All of the kids get real excited and raise their hands saying how they want to be police officers and firemen and doctors and stuff like that. But really, you're being asked, what corporation do you want to serve for the rest of your life? This is all an illusion of choice. Yeah, you can quit if you want, but then you just have to select another corporation to work for. Either way, you're going to be working for most of your life. Life is basically set up like a prison, but without the bars. You see, if you didn't have this illusion of choice, you would be more aware of what's going on. But because everything is set up to where it appears like you're choosing your own decisions and choosing the companies that you want to work for, it makes it feel as if you're free. But really, most of our lives amount to serving a company for most of our lives. You see, it used to be mostly one person working to support a family. Now most households are usually two people working to support a family. The system begins taking your children around 6 weeks old and putting them in daycare. And so before your child is even 2 months old, they're spending most of their day being
All those
raised
kids
by
look at least 3
strangers.
months old, though.
Well, they're not going to be really strangers, because those so-called strangers are actually going to be the people raising your kids, sometimes even more than you're raising them. I would think
Okay,
that
except
anybody
for
looking at
whatever.
this from a non-indoctrinated perspective would think that it's a bit strange that you're sending your 6-week-old kid to be raised by strangers that you don't even really know, and then they go to the public school system to be raised by the government until they're an adult. Most of the information that these children are learning in schools is stuff that most of the students are really not that interested in. I mean, I'm not saying that they shouldn't be learning the basics. I mean, once you learn the basics like reading, writing, basic math, maybe some science and history, does it really take 20 years to learn that information? No, it doesn't. What's really going on is the public school systems are set up to indoctrinate you into a submissive mindset where you're going to be spending all of your time focusing on stuff you're really not into. I mean, how much of the stuff that you learned in middle school and high school are you really using in your everyday life? I mean, the way society's set up, by the time you're in middle school and high school, these schools should really
That's
be teaching
good.
you how to pay your bills, how to create a resume and fill out job applications. These schools should be teaching you how
Damn,
to interview
just
for
lose
a
everybody,
job.
huh?
They should be teaching you about saving and making investments and the basics of running a business. Instead, they teach you things like X plus Y equals the square root of the hypotenuse. So once you graduate, everything's set up for you to either go to college for more schooling, and then whether you graduate or not, you're going to have student debt, and then you're not even really guaranteed to land a job just because you have a degree. And then after all of
Science
that,
is all one big
same
lie.
choice.
Science is all one big lie. I've done many things. It shows me there's 0 people here and how many comments do I have coming in. I love how they hate me like that. Shows me there's 0 people here, as you guys are commenting. No, science is one big lie. I mean, if you look into all the if you look into just how like the circuit boards and all that, and you look at everything, most of them, all circuits are like Luciferian symbols, which is really weird. Literally, Tesla, I mean, the smartest motherfucker ever. He freaking did trances, this, that. And I wouldn't even say that he did devilish shit, but shit came to him. And even though we all think all the science crap is real, Nikola Tesla knew that it was all freaking a whole bunch of bullshit. And when Albert Einstein was asked, how does it feel to be the smartest man alive? He even said, I don't know. Ask Nikola Tesla. And that motherfucker knew all the mathematic bullshit was a crock of shit. They literally went to the moon with the ability that a calculator has. Do you know the ability that this cell phone has that we're using right now has? And they tell us that they've lost, they can't get back to the moon, and that would cost too much money. But hey, we want money to go to Mars. Is that not insane? Sorry, ranting.
What company do you want to work for the rest of your life? Until you're too old to be worth anything of value to these companies anymore. And then hopefully you will be able to retire. But by then, you spend...
Electricity is from the devil? Yeah, I believe that. I believe that. But hey, one thing that I always like to say is, you know what? We are using this devil black screen. This is the devil black screen, but we are using it against them. The thing is, they thought that it would dumb down enough of us, and to a point, has it not? But it will be what it will be. But enough of us have come to use this devil black stream to actually spread truth, to spread knowledge, to open people's eyes. And is that not the greatest thing ever? We use the devil's greatest programming, fucking black fucking devil screen. Oh, who am I? Am I the most beautiful of all? I mean, that's what the fuck this is. This thing is just, I mean, they've even admitted, the guys that came up with it, they're like, man, we feel bad because we actually made algorithms and figured out how to like get people's dopamines, The guys that made Facebook, I think, said this. This is all to brainwash us and literally data mine us. Think about it. How many videos have I made? If these assholes literally wanted to, I mean, they could literally make a virtual me because of how many videos I've made and all of my reactions. And trust me, that's what this is for. But that we are actually using this against them, they fucking hate us for it. God used evil for good. Yes, God did use evil for good. I didn't know anything. I love Hillary Clinton. I don't know anything. I love Hillary Clinton. Who did that? That was Gavin McInnes. When he was like, hey, I know nothing about Hillary Clinton. I think she's a very awesome woman, and I don't want to die. I think that's maybe what you're getting that one off of. Damn. Maybe forget. Annie, you made me laugh, and I forgot what I was going upon. It's all right. I still love you. Obama was the best president in the whole world. Oh, that was good. You made me lose my rant, though. I still love you. All right, here we go.
The public educational school system. And the thing is, everything's really set up so that by the time you retire, they're hoping that the things that they've slipped into your food products and all that fluoride in your water might catch up with you, and they're hoping that you develop some type of health issue so that they don't have to pay you on Social Security for the rest of your life. And the thing about it is that once you land a job, it really limits your option of traveling the world and living where you want to live whenever you want to live there. Because
unless you're a Muslim,
to your job, so it limits you to pretty much live in the general area of where you work. So you no longer really have the freedom to just pick up and leave without going through a whole lot of hassle. The job is also dictating what time you wake up, what time you go to sleep, and what you are doing with the majority of your day. You see, they say a work day is...
No. They weren't even there to rob him. He just said some racist ass shit, and they killed him, and that was it. That's why they didn't rob him. They didn't kill him to rob him. They killed him because he was a racist.
Usually 8 hours, but really, by the time you include getting ready for work and travel time and lunch time and stuff like that, most people are spending at least 10 hours a day at work. I mean, shouldn't lunch be on the clock? Most full-time jobs, your lunch hour is not included in your pay. Does that make any sense? I mean, you're devoting your whole week to this place and they can't even pay you for your lunch hour. And another thing is, when you get your paycheck,
True.
shouldn't you be taking home everything you made from that job? I mean, what's up with income tax and all that other stuff coming out of your check? Shouldn't what you make at your job go home with you? I mean, I feel that we should be taking home 100% of our paychecks. At least if you're making under $50,000 a year. I mean, can we at least do that? Anybody making under 50K?
Okay, I totally agree with what this guy's saying. And just so if anybody doesn't know, Donald Trump actually, right when he got in to be president, he made it for where if you made it anywhere under like 24 or 26, I forget what it is, that you literally didn't have to pay anything and you just had one sheet to fill out and you are done. So he did do that. Just so nobody wants to ever talk about that. Even the people that promote Donald Trump, love Donald Trump. He made it so much easier for people that don't make that much money. And people have reasons because they have responsibilities, this or that, or they just have a very low paying job and can't get enough hours. Whatever, he made it for people that make less than like, I think it's 24 or 26,000 to where they don't have to pay any taxes. 50,000 seems more fair, maybe 40.
Year gets to take home their entire check. What about health insurance? If you quit your job, you still have to pay for health insurance. And if you have a job, they're going to take a chunk out of your check for health insurance. Well, how about instead of NASA getting $20 billion a year, why can't we take care of home first? Why can't that $20 billion a year go to health care for everybody? And so I really don't know how much health care would cost a year for everybody, but I would think that $20 billion a year would be a good start
Not
into
completely
some type
agreeing
of
with
program
this, but
to cover for
that's all
health
right.
care for everybody.
We
Or is
all
it
need
more
point of
important that
views.
we explore space? I would love to be in an auditorium right now with all of you and be able to ask the question. Everybody in the audience, please raise your hand if you would rather have free health care or a space exploration program. That would be a pretty interesting survey. And so typically most of your paychecks are probably going to housing, whether it's a mortgage or rent. And if you're paying rent, those prices can and will increase randomly. And so what would be a solution to that? Well, I have an idea. How about we cap house prices for at least a certain amount?
I hate what they do with meds because medication is the worst thing in the world because they never even fix the problem. And if nobody, like one thing, all right, here we go. Fucking rant is coming. All right, what a lot of people don't, even realize is when you look at that little medical symbol, it's a staff with two snakes going around it. See, if you look into that, that is biblical and that is throughout time, but it is not medical. It is not what we're told. Literally what it is potions and spells. That's what it is. It does nothing to heal you. It may stop the problem as it is. Yes, there are many true things that do heal you. But what comes from the medical association and all of that stuff, they're not there to heal you. They're there to literally take care of that problem, not completely fix it, keep you on that medication that literally breaks down your immune system for 10 other things that they can put you on. And then those things will break you down even more. And then they can put you on 10 other things. That is exactly what it is. I mean, when my mom came and really saw that my grandma was taking like 60 different pills a day, she was like, oh, hell no, because she knows about healthy, blah, 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 whatever. She literally got her down to taking 6 pills a day because she went in the healthy way and not what the doctors are doing. And this was 10 years ago, and my grandma's doing great. This is what they do to us. They hate us because they want to kill us, and they're constantly killing us. Yeah, I'm not sure exactly what it is, but it is the tax on that. Okay, I started getting off. Let's finish this up, and then we'll talk, and then we'll hit the
country
next
to
one.
give
Sorry, guys.
most people a real opportunity to have extremely affordable housing. Or what about this? How about millions of units across the country being
Okay,
mandatory?
okay. Oh, I know we talked about that the other night. What supplements did you order? Sorry, everybody else, but this means a lot to me. All right, I'll keep playing this, but you let me know.
Non-profit housing. so that the majority of the country can have a real option to make a living without most of your earnings going to pay for putting a roof over your head. I mean, that's really what keeps most people in this constant state of servitude, is that you're really faced with the option of choosing between working and being homeless. That's not a real option. And I believe that's the way everything has been set up, because that's what's going to keep the majority of people working, is living paycheck to paycheck in order to keep that balance of having just enough freedom so that you don't feel like you're being enslaved. If you quit your job tomorrow, how long would it really be before you wouldn't be able to make rent anymore? And so that's why I call this video The Illusion of Freedom.
All right. That one was pretty decent. It was like, whoa, what the hell? There was a lot in there that I didn't agree with, but I gotta say more than 90%
one place that we all want to go.
I gotta admit, 90% of what he had to say, I was pretty on track with. He definitely had it going. This is great. Are you ready? Are you ready?
That you lost for once in your life. Where's the joy? The fun?
Trump says he'll shut the government down unless he gets his border security and wall. He literally said, I'll shut down government unless I get border security and wall. Wealthy nations that enact big government policies do not remain wealthy.
And I want you all to know that we are fighting the fake news. It's fake.
Annie?
Fake.
Told you I saw it.
A few days ago, I called the fake news the enemy of the people, and they are. They are the enemy of the people.
Scum. And they don't even know it. They're fighting for scum. If they knew it was real, they would be on our side. That's why we must be patient, my brothers and sisters. We must be patient. They are brainwashed. They are on, literally, the plantation. We must do the best that we can to try to slowly open their minds. I know most of you are like me, you're passionate. You are like, look, open your eyes, you idiot. You want to smack them upside their head. We must be patient with them. They are our brothers and sisters.
I told the story the other day. I was probably in Washington in my entire life 17 times. True, 17 times. I don't think I ever stayed overnight.
Who
you know what I'm
wants
getting
it?
at, right? Again, I've only been here about 17 times. And probably 7 of those times was to check out the hotel I'm building on Pennsylvania Avenue. And then I hop on the plane, I go back. So I've been there 17 times, never stayed there at night, I don't believe. And then I'm riding down in this beautiful car, picked up at the airport by Secret Service, holding the hand of our great First Lady.
Goddess.
And I look at her and I say, honey, guess what? I'm President of the United States. President of the United States. And I didn't know anybody in Washington, but now I know everybody in Washington. I know the good ones, I know the bad ones. I know the wonderful people, and I know the scum.
All right, hon. I've been having the most horrible nightmares since I can remember, but they have sped up in the last 2.5, 3 months. But I will admit, in the last week, it has been insane. It has just, and I was looking into some stuff, and I really think I'm going to stick one of my small little Bibles under my freaking bed under my pillow before I go to bed, because I'm getting sick of this shit. So I'm not going to tell you to try to do the same, but I'm going to try to do that tonight, and I will let you know if it'll let me out of this, especially the last 2 days. It's 2 nights in a row in the same demonic realm of, it's hard to even explain. The longer you're awake, the quicker it goes away. But it is this realm of shit that just keeps killing each other and rebuilding and killing each other. It's almost like not completely a computer program, but that would be the easiest way to explain it. Just keeps rebuilding itself, and it's all around just demonic. It is weird. Okay. Well, all right. Sorry. Oh, I know I'm being targeted, but more than anything, I think obviously I'm being targeted more in whatever realm of reason, rhyme, whether it's this plane of existence or the other one. I don't know, but I know I am being targeted in many different ways. I feel, anyways. Maybe I'm crazy, but nothing is a coincidence, right? So how many times before you go, okay, what the F? All right, sorry. Oh, honey, never be sorry for talking. Sorry, that was funny. We got to rewind. Honey, never be sorry for talking so much. That's what I like to be here, to be able to talk to people. Go to my friends next whole channel. Individuals. Yeah, I've looked at a lot of stuff, but do me a favor, maybe remind me of that after this video drops, of the name of that channel, because trust me, I'm not gonna remember that right now. But yeah, this right here is hella funny. But never be afraid. You guys say whatever you want. I'm sorry if it gets irritating when I stop the videos. But if you guys want to talk between each other, don't put anything. But if you want to, like, me to comment back to what you say, just put Z before it. And if you do that, I'll stop and comment. If not, I'll let you guys just talk back and forth. This is so awesome. I've seen so many videos. Liberals are stupid.
Perez began walking away from the officers and went over to a woman standing against the wall. Perez dropped the chair and took the woman hostage by grabbing her and moving her in front of him.
But he's a victim.
He then placed a large knife to her throat.
But he's a victim.
Hands and applied pressure.
He's a
Witnesses stated that he
victim.
moved the knife in a sawing motion against her throat and cut her throat. That is when 3 officers fired their handguns at Perez. Perez was struck by gunfire and fell to the ground.
They're gonna
Tragically,
show you.
Perez's hostage was also struck by gunfire and collapsed.
He's a victim, people. He's a victim. Don't forget that. He's a victim. He's a victim. Don't do that. He's a victim. The cops suck because they hit the woman. I'll admit that. The cops suck balls because they hit the woman. The other cop should have been smart enough. Whatever cop took aim, they should have let one cop shoot. They shouldn't have went all out because then the woman wouldn't have been hit. But that guy was a victim. Never forget that. All right, come on, guys, give me a thumbs up. That helps other people show it. I know they don't give people my notifications. So come on, give a thumbs up. I think it's supposed to help, or that's what I hear. I love you all for being here. All right, let me get you the next good one. Oh yeah. I don't even know what one this is, but let's talk about. No, he does great work. Yes, I love him. But yeah, let's look at this video about all the fires. Oh, every single one of you gave me a thumbs up. I love you.
I just wanted to cover.
Let's look at all the fires, people.
Gilpin County residents unnerved by anonymous arson threat. Now, check out where.
Okay, well, I don't even know where this is gonna go because this just came up in the next feed. But, one thing that I did realize that, California lost a lot of money because Trump was like, hey, if you guys aren't going to play, we're not going to play with you. You're going to lose this, and the other thing. And you know what they did? They decided to start all these fucking fires so that they call a national emergency and get all the money flooded into our fucking country and into our state as they fucking literally burn people out of their fucking homes and then buy their fucking land for nothing because that's the Chinese buying it. Yeah, isn't that awesome? All right, I'm going to stop ranting.
Black Hawk, Colorado? Here, let's just watch the video.
Yes, they were, love. They were burning them out of their houses, Danny. It's fucking insane.
Hold it.
I love how he gets mad sometimes at his own computer, and it's in his own fault.
We are on edge.
I love
This
that.
message appeared on State Highway 6 near County Fairgrounds. It reads, "We started the fires. Be ready." The photo was posted on a resident's Facebook page. Many believe it's a reference to previous fires that occurred at the fairgrounds in early July. Both of those fires are under investigation, according to the Gilpin County Sheriff. A third, the spring fire, has burned almost 108,000 acres, 148 buildings, and many homes. A man has been arrested and charged with arson for allegedly starting it. Investigators are still trying to figure out who wrote this message, but have little to go on. Matt Uris, covering Colorado First.
All right, whatever. That video is acting weird.
Yeah, it was.
But, so a warning written in chalk.
Our coverage of Colorado now taking us north of Denver to Firestone. A contractor scammed a Vietnam vet out of thousands of dollars. Police want help.
Let's cut that off, please. A warning written in chalk on State Highway.
Okay, hold on. I'm sorry, that's just too funny. You don't even know what he looks like. That's adorable, though. You got a crush on him. No, he seems like he's lived a crazy life. I don't know if you heard the videos where he talks about how he was shot and didn't wake up till 2 days later. And I see how he is, and I'm pretty good at reading people, even though I've never seen his face. But his emotions and how he is, it's pretty believable. The shit that he has said is definitely true. I like him too.
Residents with intentional.
I ain't got a crush on him like you, but
I'm wondering if this is some sort of red herring. You have people that are there's definite arsonists that are making themselves known, and I believe the reason is to cover up for the way that the fires can be set through the sky and drones, which would indicate a company with high amounts of money or it would, I don't know, wouldn't the drones be picked up on radar? I mean, to me, it seems like I'm going off of last year.
Yeah, I know that. Me too. I ain't been
the
shot.
Losers from the Sky.
But
And
close.
maybe there is an investigation, and now this is how they are starting the fires. Why they came out and they wrote on
Tracking him down. R. Kelly Worthman talked to the victim.
What may look like
Shut up. Why they're coming out and they are saying.
Okay, hold on. I just got to say, all right, let's see. I don't know. It shows me there's 0 here when everybody's leaving comments, whatever. But one thing, anybody that hasn't heard this guy or seen this guy before, he can be a little bit boom, 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 back and forth, but he finds some really good stuff. So give him a break and we'll see how this goes. I didn't watch this video before I decided to put it on.
This right here. We're setting the fires. It references to fires that occurred at the fairgrounds in early July. So they're coming out. The arsonists, I mean, to me it seems like if you're committing arson, you wouldn't come out and like write in chalk like we're setting fires. Like that would just draw so much attention. It would seem like they would want it to, I don't know, it doesn't make sense to me.
No, not in any way. It's fucking...
So there's a couple things I've been looking into this morning. It's actually 1 o'clock. The market, I'm still waiting for gold to drop a little bit more.
Hey, and you know what? That is what is insane. I hope like it's definitely get the money that it needs for the firefighters and all that to keep working, but they got to get rid of the sanctuary cities. Like they really do.
Facebook went up about, I don't know, $1.30 or something. But it's still, those two are going to drop. Gold's probably, when I say gold, I usually mean GLD, which you could take and say if gold drops, GLD is $2. I think think that's the way it is.
She's been doing good. Keep watching her.
So it's
watch her stuff.
like 10% or something like that. But anyway, yeah, so I wanted to reference these fires because this is a big deal. Oh, this is another thing. I've talked to a lot of people. I'm getting reports that it's 74 degrees where I live. It does not feel like 74 degrees. It feels like 100 degrees. So is that the humidity? Or is thermometers like not working or what? Because I'm pretty good at, to me, this has been going on. Like the thermometer in my car will give the reading.
All right. And okay. James does really good stuff. I love James, but he's got a pretty damn long video going here. So we're going to go to our next one here. But yeah, he does good work. He does. Okay, are you ready to laugh your ass off? Are you ready to laugh your ass off? Are you ready?
Did you ask her if we ever used the word ban?
Okay, this is a little stupid, but whatever. It gets good. It gets good.
What word would you use, Will? What word would you use? When you ask her if we ever use the word ban, then I will answer that question. You prohibited her? What's the word you ask her? Focus now. You ask her if we ever use the word ban. See you guys later. Have a great day.
The Dog and Pony Show continues to distract the masses with nonsense, while the international banking puppet masters who own the networks and own the players in both political parties throw up nonstop smokescreens that keep us all divided and deceived. But the reason I and others present you with snippets of this network propaganda is to continually remind us all that what you're hearing coming out of your TVs works in the best interest of the elite and works against the consumers of their garbage. Because as clever as the puppet masters are, truth is a sharper, infinitely more sturdy sword than anything they could possibly wield against us. The truth always finds the cracks in the deception, so that those who are still caught in the spell of the globalist narrative will join the fight in overcoming the sinister plan.
Okay. I love what he just said right there. But what he is saying is the truth is sharper than anything else. And that no matter what, the truth can cut through the veil of lies. Here's the problem. So many are brainwashed, and it is mathematically proven that people would rather continue to perpetuate a lie than they would ever like to admit to everybody around them that is still believing the lie that, hey, I was stupid and I believed the lie. That is our biggest problems, my brothers and sisters. And that's why we have to fight so hard. And guess what? The Father never said this shit was going to be easy. And guess what? We're playing a fucking video game. Just so you know, we're playing a game. You have been downloaded into this reality in whatever freaking way. And guess what? You're playing a game. And would the game be even worth playing if it was easy? Never forget that. It was never meant to be easy. We have to be fighting. Because if we're not fighting, we allow ourselves to get fat and pathetic and corrupt.
In this segment of the Communist News Network, the conversation is centered around White House Deputy Chief of Staff Bill Shine's decision to block CNN's Caitlin Collins from covering an event in the Rose Garden while he plays semantics with the word ban.
Okay, hold on. Brought up CNN. What was it? Anderson Cooper, that little freak. What was it? He had 4,000 people watching him, and they paid like $18 million to start his YouTube channel.
Journalists here, so let's be honest. Bill's a journalist too. We shorten things. We've got the lower third. We've only got the lower third. We might not say she was uninvited. She was told she cannot come. She was banned. The message was communicated.
I hope it does.
She was not welcome there, and she did not go. So this is ridiculous that this ex-journalist is playing word games with journalists, and it's not working.
So, Steve, look, presidents get questions shouted at them all the time, right? So yesterday, the president wanted to talk about trade, and Caitlin asked
Okay, I'm sorry. I have to pause this.
Vladimir Putin's.
But yes, I just have to say it was never meant to be easy, and the harder it is for you, that means you are chosen. It was not meant to be easy for us. Because it is hard for us, that means you are chosen. I can't say what we are. I have many things to say what we are. You can watch my other videos, or if I get into that mode, I will explain it. But I'm just going to cut through this really freaking quick. We were chosen. Never forget that. Okay, now I'm going to laugh at how this poor, straight white male has to deal with being berated by three women, especially this beautiful African-American woman here on the right. I'm just going to say how well he does because he lets them show their, TDS? Trump derangement syndrome? Yeah, here we go, people.
Summit and about the Michael Cohen tape, which, as the only representative for the broadcast media, was a question everyone wanted to ask. And I just wanted to make the point for the viewer that this is the way it goes. And here's how I'm going to make that point. Right. I'm going to show you two presidents who aren't Trump.
I'm looking forward to working with the new Congress. Thank you for your time.
Bye, Felicia. Bye. I said bye, Felicia.
Thank you, Kathleen Sebelius, for the outstanding work that she's doing, making sure that millions of Americans can get health insurance. Thank you.
No, the dinosaur media is dead. Bye, Felicia. Bye, Felicia. But oh my God, President Trump does it, and he's evil.
So, Steve, this is how it goes. They say things. They want to talk about one thing. They get yelled across about another.
Watch how he deals with it.
They want to talk about Saddam's execution, right? I mean, what was he talking about? Right. Oh, yeah, the new Congress.
I'll shut up. Sorry, but watch this.
What happened with Caitlin Collins is what happens. This is how it goes. Did Shine make a mistake?
Listen, Aaron, I think he did. Yes, I really do. Journalists are supposed to ask questions, and they're supposed to ask tough questions, and that happens all the time. And it happened in these shouting, matches, which we have. I will also say this: I think part of the reason, though, also why to defend the White House.
Look at her. Look at all of them with bated breath.
The White House believes, and I think correctly so, that generally the media is so antagonistic toward the White House. And literally so biased
Well, you can laugh, but
Oh, my
it is
goodness.
literally
Here it
so
comes.
antagonistic and so
Get ready.
biased. that
I'm
there are
laughing to keep
reasons
from
that-
crying because you believe this foolishness.
Here comes the
This
fucking
president
devil
came
dragon.
out saying that we are the enemy of the people. We did nothing to him.
Just so we're clear here, you guys know I don't support Trump or any president or politician. But Trump's right. The press we have today isn't free.
And they've admitted
they were
it.
bought and paid for a long time ago, and therefore they are the enemies of the people. And her claim that the liberal media has done nothing to him is embarrassingly false.
From the moment he was elected president, even before that, when he thought he was going to be president, he did not want us in the White House. So the antagonism started with this administration.
In this dog and pony show, the record is pretty clear.
This dog don't hunt,
Antagonism started
motherfucker.
with the media's full tilt backing of Hillary Clinton.
They do not want the tough questions. Steve, don't drink the Kool-Aid. Don't drink it. You understand that a free and fair press is what this country, the First Amendment.
It's not free, and it's definitely far from fair.
So don't play that game. We were warred upon. We did not war upon him. There's not a bias. If this president
April,
continues to do what
no.
he's doing, because a lot of the stuff he's doing, no, Steve, no, don't go there. No, Steve, no, don't go there. He's tweeting things. He's saying,
April, that's
homie,
He gets no time to
things of that
talk.
nature.
Watch.
He's perfect. No, it's not. It's ridiculous.
And that's
This is what
perfect.
the president is doing. We have a right to ask. We have a right to ask. And this president and this administration and Bill Shine, of all people, is going to play have this war of words on.
I'm sorry. I just have to pause this really quick. You will watch as this man literally is berated by these freaking broads and doesn't get a chance to even freaking talk. And I love it. I love it. Oh, heckling hens. You know what I call it? When my girlfriend is out with all of her friends and then all of a sudden they come into my garage, which is my personal space, and they all just start talking around me. I'm like, hens are clucking. And that's what it is. Hens clucking. But these aren't regular hens. These are turkey vultures right here. But they don't even give this man anywhere near his time to talk. And each time it is his time, he can't get more than a sentence or two out before he is interrupted and talked right over. And that just shows you what this feminist idiocracy has turned into. Being a straight white male, you got to hold your P's and Q's in this area. Like the video that Annie put out of where that black guy was saying, he was like, you fucking Democrats don't even realize you're being surrounded. You're being surrounded from every fucking side because you're losing your fucking mind and all your friends are turning against you. That was such a great video, Annie. Yeah, that's what we're at. All right, sorry. Here we go.
Caitlin Collins. She is a credentialed member of the press in the pool. And I'm going to say this to you, and I think Senator McCain was absolutely right. When you start a president, it begins a dictatorship. Steve, don't believe the Kool-Aid. Don't drink it.
Steve,
Don't
it is
drink
also
it.
true, though.
Steve, don't believe the Kool-Aid. Don't drink it.
Steve,
Don't
it is
drink
also
it.
You drank the Kool-Aid. Fuck you.
Hold on. No, that needs a
Sorry.
response. Dictatorship? Are you
You're kidding.
dictatorship?
That's the
You're
way it
kidding.
goes.
Am I kidding? Yes.
I mean,
yes.
hold on.
Am I kidding? Yes.
I mean,
yes.
It's authoritarian.
Senator
Enemy of
McCain,
the people is
what makes us
Look at this
different?
Did you hear what that woman just said?
Authoritarian.
Senator
Enemy of the
McCain,
people is
what makes us different from China?
She says this like we're not under authoritarianism right now.
What makes us
Absolutely
different from China and Russia?
And do you realize how
What makes
divorced
us
you
different?
are from the
What makes us
reality?
different from
No, okay,
China?
let Steve respond.
What makes us different from China and Russia?
Steve, let
See,
me
they won't give
let
him
me
a
give you
chance.
his response.
Russia, they
Okay,
don't
now
have a
we're
free
China,
press.
Russia. All right. When you talk about a dictatorship,
What makes us
do you
different?
realize
A free
how
press.
He didn't even
Free
get
and fair,
3 words
independent
out.
press.
Do you realize how divorced you are from reality? And no American out there, by the way, cares about this nonsense. Cares about this
not true.
press
Bless you.
briefing.
Yes, they do.
That was awesome.
Yes, they
don't.
do.
And
Yes,
when
they
you-
do.
Okay,
when
let's
you-
just let Steve finish his
No,
point,
they
please,
don't.
everybody.
See?
Finish his
Why
point.
you-
See?
The American people.
Are you gonna let him talk?
This
See?
president suppresses us. It's not about us. It's about the American people getting information. And let me say this to you.
Oh
What do
my
you mean,
God.
Oh my gosh.
Get
Let me
off
say
the
this to you.
plantation.
If we are
Okay,
the
no.
first line of
Okay, here,
questioning
sorry.
An American president.
No, I'm not. Whatever. See, she's not even on the plantation anymore. She's rose above the plantation, and she is literally master of the plantation, and she's fine with that because she doesn't care about her. See, this woman over here on the right, she is more racist, seriously, than just about anybody else. And these people that are on the left of what they're doing, they're more racist than you ever would imagine. And that is the saddest thing, where people don't even recognize that. It's these lefties that are the racists because they're trying to keep them on the plantation and not let themselves rise up. That's what people don't get. America is for everybody rising up, but you got to come through our front door, not climb through our back fucking window.
And if he can't take a serious question, he's thin-skinned, and maybe he should rethink the job.
And George Bush complained about the press.
What's the
Barack
difference
Obama
between?
did.
What, April,
he complained, but
April, what you have shown.
Yes.
What you have shown, and what the entire White House briefing room
what I have shown
is that
Yes,
yeah.
you. Yes, you, bitch. I'm gonna get in trouble for this, I think.
Is that you are not honest brokers in this debate. Nice. What you have shown is that you're in opposition.
Nope,
I'm not
you're in
not.
opposition to the president.
I'm opposition.
No, you're not.
I've been warned upon. I still want to do an interview with this president. I'm not warned upon. I've been told stop shaking my head. I've been told to get the congressional black cause together.
He's gonna get it.
With the president.
You can scream, but that doesn't change your lack of honesty in covering this president
my lack
in
of
an honest way. And what he's doing for
what have I been
regular
dishonest
Americans.
About? What have I been dishonest
don't
about?
care.
I guarantee you, if they ever try to ban me or take my credentials,
filibuster.
I would like more press conferences. I think the president, the more he gets.
Well, hold on. Did you Did you see how they actually had to cut that? Did anybody see the? She was yelling and it went doom and let him talk. They literally had to stop that crap and be like, "You have to shut up."
The better he does. So I absolutely. I think he should be on Americans.
There will be a problem.
I would like more press conferences. I think the president, the more he gets in front of the oppositional press, the better he does. So I absolutely. I think he should be on CNN. I really believe that.
Okay, so 2 of the worst presidents in the history of the United States. Which 2? Clinton and Bush? And shit, I would say Bush and Obama, but fuck, dude. No, Clinton and Bush were pretty. Clinton and Obama were the worst, but Bush, I feel like I don't know, man. The Bushes started it.
He should be.
I simply will say again,
do you
Steve,
really
that the
believe that?
definition of a free and fair press is speaking truth to power, and that is holding them to account and asking questions they don't want to be asked. So when you use the word opposition to describe the job of a fair press, a free and fair press, you are doing a great disservice to the country.
This is clueless. When you lie to the people, show favoritism, stories, get your marching orders from the CIA, withhold truth, and protect the international banking cartel and the domestic terrorist organization known as the IRS, you are doing a great disservice to the country.
Really?
And I want to say
totally
yes,
disagree
Steve,
because you know what?
You know what? Steve, you.
A disservice to the country is when the press pretends that they are objective. And when I watch that White House briefing room, it is not. You can say, "Oh my God," you can be exasperated, but you know what? I think any fair person,
I am going to say
any non-political
because
person,
you're delusional,
will say,
and you're a liar.
That is not.
He lets you.
Really, I'm a liar. Really? Here's the thing. Also, here's what you can't get over.
You're not worth the G in your OP.
And
You're not worth the G
won
in
in
your
2016 because we won in 2016 because we saw beyond and what you saw.
You played on race.
Was
you played on
oh my.
You played on race.
Oh my God. You're the race baiter.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah.
And
So
also
we won.
Vladimir
You know what?
Putin and Tony.
Oh my God.
The people, by the way, the very people who won our election in Michigan and Ohio and Wisconsin and Pennsylvania, those
Hillary
very
Clinton
same
won the
voters had
popular
twice
vote.
voted.
You won the electoral college.
Those
Hillary Clinton
voters
did the
had
popular
twice
vote. You won the
voted.
electoral college.
Now, what you're about to hear is not me playing this over and over again. This girl is triggered.
Yeah.
Because Russia helped you. Because Russia helped you. Because Russia helped you.
Really?
You won the
Russia
electoral
won the
college.
election?
Oh, really? Yes.
Really? Do you want to hang your head on that?
That's
Russia
what
won
your
the election?
Justice Department is saying. That is what everyone's. You owe me an apology.
Really?
Hillary
Trying
is
to slander
Russia.
my
Sorry,
name.
bitch.
You better find out where I lied. I want to see something where you say I lied. Oh, you're kidding. You're not worth the G in your OPC.
If you believe that Russia won this election,
where am I
then
lying?
you have no business being even in this.
Your Justice Department. What is the Mueller about? Your president.
What's good about this smokescreen story and segments like this, where SJWs get triggered, is that it gives those who are medicated on the morphine drip of mainstream media hype and propaganda a chance to see that all the networks actually stand in solidarity, as Fox News' Shep Smith points out here when speaking about this exact same issue of Caitlin Collins being banned from a White House press event.
The reporter you heard was Caitlin Collins, White House reporter for CNN. She was the pool reporter at the time, meaning on that day in that setting, she represented all of the television networks, including this one.
I might be wrong. I shouldn't say that, but he definitely sees
not the enemies of the people. It's quite the opposite.
First of all, what we have at these corporate networks are not journalists. They're prostitutes who have sold their souls for fame and fortune as they peddle lies for and throw up a smokescreen for the Zionist bankers to hide behind. Second of all, these news organizations were exposed a long time ago for being infiltrated and
Okay, 96% of the fucking media is literally run by Zionist Jews. Yes, it is. Oh, goodness. Now, can I get in trouble? Yay. And Fox News is run by them. If you run down, you know anything about numbers and letters and all that, Fox News actually translates into 666. Nobody wants to understand that or realize that. But the saddest thing is, even me knowing that, I know at least I get a little bit more decent, real fucking news. Pardon my French, Father. But look at it. They've made us go to these devil black screens. Look, they're sucking us in, even though that we freaking didn't drink too much of the Kool-Aid, not too much of the fluoride, and we've opened our minds, and we're trying to find the way, and we're trying to find everything that we need to find what our purpose is of being here. But still, they force us to use their devil magic to find our way. Never forget that. All right. So,
influenced by the CIA.
I thought that it was a matter of real concern that planted stories intended to serve a national purpose abroad came home and were circulated here and believed here, because this would mean that the CIA could manipulate the news in the United States by channeling it through some foreign country. We're looking at that very carefully.
Wow.
Do you have any people being paid
How old do you think this is?
the CIA who are contributing to a major circulation American journal? We do have people who submit pieces to American journals. Do you have any people paid?
Okay, I'm sorry I'm a dick. What? This is fucking, pardon my French. What? We're going to say this is 70s, 80s? Okay, what? We're going to say that. And this is before there was how many alphabet fucking gangs? What? There's 17 that they tell us about. Yeah, you know, there's a lot more deep, dark ones. And this is back then and they had that much. All right, anybody that hasn't given a thumbs up, give a thumbs up. It's supposed to show the notification a lot better. All right, here we go.
By the CIA who are working for television networks. This, I think, gets into the kind of getting into the details, Mr. Chairman, that I'd like to get into in executive session.
At CBS, we had been contacted by the CIA. As a matter of fact, by the time I became the head of the whole News and Public Affairs operation in 1954, the ships had been established, and I was told about them and asked if I'd carry on with them. We have quite a lot of detailed information, and we will evaluate it, and we will include any evidence of wrongdoing or any evidence of impropriety in our final report and make recommendations.
Do you have any people being paid by the CIA?
Yes.
Who are contributing to the National News Service? Services, AP, and UPI.
And how long ago is this? Think about
Well, again,
this.
I think we're getting into the kind of detail, Mr. Chairman, that
What are
I
you
prefer to
talking
handle in
about?
executive session.
Yeah. Sound familiar? Sound familiar?
That remains to be decided. I think it was entirely in order for our correspondents at that time to make use of CIA agent chiefs of station and other members of the executive staff of CIA as sources of information which were useful in their assessments of world.
Would you say that continues today?
Pardon me.
Well, I would think probably for a reporter it would continue today, but because of all of the revelations of the period of the 1970s, it seems to me that a reporter's got to be much more circumspect in doing it now, or he runs the risk of at least being looked at with considerable disfavor by the public. I think you've got to be much more careful about it.
Over 22 years at this network, it has been my experience that the journalists of Fox News and Fox Business and those of our colleagues at competitors at CNN and MSNBC,
God, now we know you're
NBC, ABC, and CBS, Bloomberg and PBS, the Wall Street Journal, New York Post, New York Times, the Washington Post, all of them operate in the public interest.
What the hell is wrong with you people?
We work to discern what is truth, then to present it to you in context and with perspective. And as your representatives in the people's halls, report to you without fear or favor.
Without fear or favor, huh? You really want to stand by that?
Look at those eyes.
There's really no favoritism going on.
Looks like a
None
demon.
that you can think of. No promotion of, say, one political
That
party over another.
doesn't look
Doing what they
human.
call in politics freezing pockets, because the donors are giving her money thinking she's going to run. That means they're not going to have available money for other candidates if she doesn't, and I don't think she's going to give it to them.
She's on her way to deciding.
We'll see.
About deciding.
We couldn't help her any more than we have.
I know.
I mean, she's got just a free ride so far from the media. We're the biggest ones promoting her campaign. We couldn't help her any more than we have.
And they said that they were biased.
Just a free ride.
And
so
they're
far from the
biased,
media.
huh?
We're the biggest ones promoting her campaign. We couldn't help her any more than we have.
They're biased.
Just
Biased.
a free ride so far from the media. We're the biggest ones promoting her campaign.
We work to discern what is truth, then to present it to you in context and with perspective. And as your representatives in the people's halls, you without fear or favor, while striving to hold those in power to the same standards. This is the foundation of what we do. It's our reason for being, our purpose.
No, Shep. Your reason for being, your purpose is to hide the evils that are really going on in the world so that your true masters, the ones you really serve, literally get away with the most heinous crimes.
And we don't know who they are.
If you guys get something out of videos like this, hit the subscribe button and the bell notification.
Okay, everybody knows who he is. He's a good guy. All right, so flat out, the most disturbing part that we have to deal with, and hey, whatever. This is why I know I'm hated, and this is why I know I'm targeted. This, that, the other thing. I don't give a fuck. No, I call it out. These people that we're like going after, that we seem like we can't even catch them or get them. You want to know that? Because there's a next level behind them. And what you don't get is there's a next level behind them. And a next level behind them. And that is the last viewable person or level that you would ever get to. And we're talking about viewable. Do you understand me? There is another 3 levels past that that is not visible, that nobody even knows who they are. You think they're gonna let it be a fast track onto getting towards that? There is no effing way. Pardon me. With that. Oh, shut up, lady. Nobody cares.
Consume our way to happiness. And the I'll be happy when syndrome, it shows
God.
up in
Really?
Alexander.
The main problem with this is if they can divide us, if they can destroy us, make us hate each other, make us fight each other, it is the best way for them. It is the only way for them, because there is, no matter what, an innate ability of man to rise up against his betrayer. That is inside of us. We are the body of Christ. So that is inside of us to do. And the only way that they can stop that is literally to divide us. And that is the whole reason of everything that is. That's why they take father out of the home. That's why they do everything. All right, let's see. I want to try to find something funny here for a second.
Alexander is a first-time caller out of Virginia. Alexander, thank you for calling and thanks for holding. You're on the air.
Hey, thanks for having me. How you doing?
All is well. Happy White History Month.
Happy White History Month, Jesse.
Yes,
I
sir.
just wanted to call and just, I wanted to end it with a question, but I've been going through quite a journey. I've been asleep like my whole life. And,
Oh, no, this is
if you
not
were
the
even
funny
asked me
one.
2 years ago, I was a self-assessed communist, an atheist.
This is good.
I was abolition. I was just a lazy, unhonest person, and I was like a liberal arts major. I was like drinking all
No,
the Kool-Aid.
hold on.
I didn't have
Hey,
much of a.
try the funny video from channel. No. I will after this. But no, this was supposed to be funny. But no, this is a really good video, and seriously, something worth listening to. This is a really good one.
Fatherly instinct growing up.
How old are you?
I'm 23. Well, I'm 24 now, actually.
Okay, and just what? Go ahead.
And I've gone through a period of awakening in my life, and I found you 4 days ago. I've been watching your videos, but
Hold on.
for 2 years
Hold
now,
that thought, buddy. Hold that thought. I'll come back to you right after this break. Back in a moment. I want to go back to Alexander.
He does too many breaks.
first-time
I
caller
know,
out of
but
Virginia,
we don't have to listen to him.
talking about becoming a man. Alexander, thank you, buddy. Go ahead.
Yes, sir. Yeah. So essentially, I've been building, or previously, I was building my identity around being harmless, as if being harmless is a virtue. And I've discovered over the last 2 years, slowly and rigorously, but how to become a man. And I wanted to reach out to you to ask. Now that I'm in this position in my life, where I understand responsibility and taking the world's sins on myself. I want to provide for my family. Like I got more serious. I proposed to my girlfriend because I thought it was foolish to sleep with her. Just a girlfriend and boyfriend.
Alexander, come and speak right into the phone. The sound is back on.
Yes, sir.
Go ahead,
Sorry
Alexander.
about that.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
Absolutely. So I just wanted to essentially get more serious about my life and propose to my girlfriend at the time, because there's nothing manly about living with her and not being engaged to wed.
Right.
But it seems in this time it's hard to provide and start a family. Like they've made marriage for the rich now.
Yes.
They've reserved it essentially.
Yes.
And I want to take it seriously and get married and have kids, and I'm tired of living this postmodern life. But I
Okay, Annie. I won't watch Alex Jones anymore. I was watching everyday live stream. Alright. Why will you not watch Alex Jones
I'm
anymore?
a victim essentially, where I'm weakened by the fact that there's not as much opportunity. Like, I'm just curious as to how a young man essentially should provide for his family nowadays. Like, I'm going to college. I'm trying to. I know college is ridiculous, but I'm doing it for an actual degree to try to provide. And I was wondering if you have any advice for young men trying to essentially build themselves up financially so they could support a family and do the right thing.
That's a really good question.
Okay. Look, all right, Annie. I love you, girl. Look, Alex Jones is a gatekeeper, but guess what? That motherfucker opens more people's eyes to start learning how to find their way than just about anybody else. So guess what? Kind of got to deal with it. And he is definitely a gatekeeper. His name is Bill Heck. That's his real name. But here's the thing is, he is among them, but at the same time, I think he is among that type that literally does not want us to be slaves. And at least if we are slaves, not slaves like they want to make us. And I'm not saying that we don't have to rise up against what it is and even call out the gatekeepers, but guess what? We got to take out the worst ones before we can freaking be, as those gatekeepers turn into the ones. So we have to, look, I'm speaking a lot of crazy shit here, so just fucking listen. We have to take out the fucking gatekeepers only after we've taken out the worst of the worst, and the gatekeepers have helped us take them out, because the fucking gatekeepers want to get rid of them because they're sick of being gatekeepers. You must understand, we must take it out. That you have to cut the snake's head off. You have to cut the snake's head off before you can deal with the rest of the body, because guess what? The snake has how many hearts? Never forget that. Just because we cut the head of the snake off, there is 7 ready to grow. We must never forget that.
You living with your girlfriend?
Well, yeah, I proposed to her now, but I was living with her before we were engaged.
Oh, okay. I gotta take. This is really good call. I gotta take a top of the hour break. Can you hold? Okay.
Absolutely.
Yeah, hold. When I come back, I will respond to you, man. Such a good question. 888-77 Justin. The sound is back. Good morning, YouTube Live. So glad you're with me. Back in a moment. Another hour to go. I want to go back to Alexander. And Alexander's a 24-year-old.
Okay, look, Annie, I am not gonna fucking deny that was my first time that I went a little bit rogue and almost didn't want to listen to anything that Alex had to say. I thought he let the Pizzagate shit. But here's the thing is, I think that's one of the things that he literally really, like, I don't think he's afraid of too much, but I know that there's a certain, he knows enough people and enough shit. I think it came to a high enough level that they literally said, we're not joking. Like, I know we tell you not to talk about a whole bunch of shit, but if you talk about this anymore, I'm going to kill you and I'm going to kill your family. I guarantee that's where it came to, and he shut the fuck up. I mean, look at Joe Rogan. He used to think the earth was flat, this, that, the other thing. Talking with his buddy and then all this other shit. And then he literally made a video and he was like, NASA, the CIA, whatever the hell, you tell me what the truth is. And you can find this video. He's like, you tell me what the truth is, and I'm dead serious. I'll put it on my mother's life, this, that. You just tell me what the truth is, and I'll say whatever you want to say. I just want to know the truth. And all of a sudden, within a week, that motherfucker flipped fucking course and literally sat there and laughed at his friend talking about flat earth that he had been talking about for a couple of months. There's shit. There's shit. All right, here we go.
Male who called from Virginia, first time caller.
All right, we're gonna get out of this. Because we're getting into way other fucking shit, and I think I got some other videos. All right. Pardon my French.
Let's go to the Bronx, New York.
Hold on.
You've heard.
Oh, all right. I know you said you hated Alex Jones. I think I saved this one for a reason.
That's a lot of nobodies.
Hold on.
Not all refugees are welcome here.
This is just another moment in this presidency where
Joe Rogan is the biggest sell-off that there fucking is. It is pathetic. And you can come or you can literally find that video to see how much of a fucking sell-off. All right, I like this guy. He's crazy.
Welcome to episode 14 of Unmasking the Dark Side, Sex Magic. So, I would like to talk first about NXIVM. If you're not aware of NXIVM, look for the playlist on my channel titled NXIVM, and in there you will find a pretty detailed series of videos explaining what NXIVM is. I'm going to recap a little bit, but if you want to know about the foundation and genesis of what I'm talking about, you'll need to go back and see those previous videos, or have an understanding on your own of what NXIVM was and is involved in. So, but as a recap, a high IQ, self-proclaimed genius named Keith Raniere is the founder of this, and along with a woman named Allison Mack, who was a small-time actress in the WB series Smallville, and how they together were recruiting young starlets from Hollywood and branding them as sex slaves. Now, this leads me to what I'm talking about today, is about a recent story that is circulating on the internet by a man named Ben Semkis, and that's spelled S-Z-E-M-K-U-S. Benjamin Semkis.
I get that.
Thanks to a viewer for tipping me off to this earlier in the morning, and I have been researching this all day because Ben claims back in 2007, back in February of 2007, that he attended a NXIVM recruitment mixer with his girlfriend, and they were both college students at the time, and this party was mainly a recruitment party for a bunch of college girls, specifically out of Yale and some other surrounding colleges. the girlfriend was invited, and he kind of came along as her plus one. And he tells his story on the internet. You can find his story in its completeness in the liked section playlist on my channel. You'll see it there.
Stage Wonder.
The thing that sticks out the most in the NXIVM recruitment party is the guest list, which I'll get into in a moment. But he claims that the people were broken up into small groups that he was not allowed to participate in. Only the girls were allowed to participate in that portion, where they would huddle around in small groups around computer screens and watch snuff films. And I'll get into a little bit later about that. But that's very disturbing. And also the guest list is kind of interesting. The NXIVM people you would expect to be there were there, of course. Keith Raniere, Allison Mack, the Smallville actress, another.
Well, I just want to tell you, I'm glad that you're here. And more than anything, I started this channel to call out all the injustices and pedophilia and crap that I can in this world. So if I can talk with somebody and have somebody here and open their eyes to the injustice of this world and help them feel better, that literally makes my day, that makes my week, that makes my everything. Makes me realize what I'm doing is actually worth something. And I just want to tell you I love you and I appreciate you for that.
Person, Nancy Salzman, she's connected to it. And then interestingly enough, a New York State Senator named Eric Schneiderman. Also, Anthony Weiner, and his wife, Uma Haberdine, were apparently in attendance, and Ben Semkes claims to have spoken to them. Also was, I think it's Jason or Jonathan Alefantis, the Alefantis guy from Comet Pizza. He was at this party as well. James Alefantis, that's it, James. And then, interestingly enough, Stormy Daniels apparently was appearing there as well and was a part of this evening event. Now, I really tend to believe Ben and his story about this party because
I must wonder if we're all not a little
evidence
bit.
For me is his description of Stormy Daniels.
I must wonder if everybody here, in one way, I'm not going to say MK for everybody, but I'm going to kind of have a little bit of a guess here. Everybody here that is here has obviously been gang stalked or fucked with in some way, whether they believe it, know it, or have thought about it. That's kind of my little guess. But let's get back to this guy. This guy's funny and does a good job.
I actually met Stormy Daniels in 2009, and I was in attendance at a big event party where she appeared, and I got to speak to her when she signed a poster with Storm, had lightning and thunder, and she was in a cowgirl outfit, and she's Stormy, and I think that's what it was like. Anyway, I remember the thunder and lightning, but she signed it, and I got to speak with her momentarily, and, I get a sense for people when I talk to them, especially other entertainers. And, some of the most really, what's the word I'm looking for, powerful and outgoing and confident people in the world on stage are oftentimes very reclusive and quiet and stay to themselves whenever they're out in public or at the merch table, or when you meet them in a restaurant or just casually in the studio or whatever. Their stage personality is very different, and that's the case with Stormy Daniels. She was almost awkward, she was very shy, and this guy Ben, he goes into detail about that encounter and how he shared a smoke with her out on the patio. And it seems like to me that he met her because his encounter and my encounter were very similar in nature, and he described it in a very similar way. So you've got this party with all of these people that have been connected to various different scandals, sex crimes. Some of them are tied to child trafficking. Anthony Weiner is a convicted child pedophile. He got put in prison for sending pics to little girls. And, Allison Mack and Keith Raniere are both under arrest and being charged with false imprisonment and sexual blackmail and all kinds of things. And But, this guy, Ben, A lot of people are talking about him. It's kind of a small story right now, but I'm feeling it grow more and more as people get the word out. But he disappeared a few days ago, and a lot of people feared that Ben had been killed. And in his initial video, you can clearly see an a semi-automatic pistol laying on his nightstand behind him as kind of a silent witness to his own fear and his own preparedness, because he understands someone might come for him. So a few days ago he disappeared and everyone was afraid he'd been killed, but I have it on good information and from a reliable source that seems to have been following him all along and in contact with him, who claims that he went into hiding, that there has been this publicist who has taken himself to try and discredit Ben and his claims about this party mixer. And we figure he probably works for NXIVM, and it's their job to discredit this guy. And he doxed him and published his home address. And so rightfully so, Ben split and is currently safe and well and in hiding. So I believe that all of this behavior is it's related to MK Ultra.
Yes, exactly. But you guys see it, like, there is so much shit in front of our eyes if we actually have the eyes to see, the ears to hear, the heart to discern. I love you all. Thank you so much for being here. You are the true resistance.
It's the kind of, the showing of the snuff films, the sexual dominance, the enslavement, the melon twisting that's going on here is almost like a light version of MK Ultra. And I think what we're seeing is the very introductory and the very first phases of the Monarch sex kitten training program for young women to create these sex slaves for the rich and famous to use and abuse at their will. And that's what this is about. It's the very beginning of that training, which goes much deeper until they can almost use this same kind of torture and imagery and mind melding and fracturing and creating new personalities and personas to create these Mata Hari type of spies, like maybe Stormy Daniels. Don't.
He's like
MK Ultra. She's got all the earmarks for it.
He's good. He's good.
The MK Ultra connection is manifested in this doctor who was also charged, and his medical license was revoked for using mind control techniques against patients, against people's will. In other words, restraining people and forcing them to watch these snuff films. And it does break down the moral responses, and when you do that to people, it makes them less sensitive to murder. So they could witness an actual snuff in reality without throwing up. Because nothing screws up a snuff party like puking. I know that's gross. I can't believe I just said it, but I'm not making light. I'm just saying it's mind-blowing. It's mind-blowing, the things that may very well be going on in these Hollywood.
Thank you for being here. And I'm sorry if this is getting a little too much into it for you, but good night. And we love you. And anything you need, let us know.
Gatherings and parties. So, what is it about the NXIVM teachings? What is that all about? They claim it's a pathway to personal empowerment for women through sexual surrender. And they claim that the woman's traditional power base is based in surrender or the submissive role. And that through that submissive role, they can engage in manipulation of people through sexual domination and addiction by playing both sides of the S&M sadomasochistic elements. They can use that to control people. And actually, there is a belief that there's this ritualistic, sacrificial way to possess power through the practice of sexual skills and ritualistic surrender and sexual ritual. And so I also believe that these people are using these MK Ultra sex slaves as currency and trading 100%. Them back and forth once they're trained up.
Okay, so what a lot of people don't realize, like, slavery has been one of the biggest. There is no bigger commodity than children, let alone sex trafficking. There is no bigger commodity, and nobody wants to admit this, and this is probably going to get this video. But there is no bigger thing than sex child slavery and trafficking. Why do you think they want so many people to be able to be let into our country without there being verified or anything like that? Because guess what? Then they can't catch these people. These people will think they're trying to help humanity, and they're actually freaking promoting. I have a video on here where ICE came and raided a house because they were literally child sex slavery freaking, they're literally doing it through their house. And ICE came, and the neighbors called a whole bunch of people, and I'm not joking, they ended up out there with picket signs like they didn't want them to take them. You're like, oh my God, we have been brainwashed, people.
And a lot of this is going back to what we call spirit cooking or sex magic. And this was really started by a guy named Aleister Crowley, or Crowley. I think Crowley is probably how most people pronounce it. Aleister Crowley was considered the most wicked man to have ever lived. He was a preacher's kid, and you know what they say about preacher's kids? We're the worst. So in his case, he may have been the reason people say that. But anyway, he was a preacher's kid, but his father died when he was only 11 years old. And this left him bitter against God for taking his father away. It left him kind of half trained up in life. And his mother's forced to take over his training, and she enforced her Puritan morality upon him in a really dominating way, which caused him to rebel. She lost control of him. He became obsessed with the occult and demonology. And when he was a young man, he entered into a guild of magicians and sorcerers known as the Golden Dawn. The Golden Dawn had some pretty notable members, some literary giants like Yeats and Bram Stoker, the creator of the Count Dracula mythology. So Crowley, during this period, he adopted a new evil moniker. He started calling himself and demanded that other people call him Beast 666. So apparently he changed his name to Beast 666. And this was just, I think, an embodiment of his personal desire to rebel as far away from his puritanical Christian raising as possible. So at this point, he becomes obsessed with black magic, and he finds the Golden Dawn to be kind of like the kiddie pool of magic. And since they're just kind of toying with it, they're too nice, they're too good, they're involved in child's play, and he abandons them for a more aggressive pathway of demon conjuring, which I believe led to his possession by multiple entities. In fact, his wife and him honeymooned in Egypt, and his wife Rose went with him to an exhibit of some of these Egyptology items. And when they came to the display number 666, which was a display containing
I'm gonna go back.
A pathway of demon conjuring, which I believe led to his possession by multiple entities. In fact, his wife and him honeymooned in Egypt, and his wife Rose went with him to an exhibit, some of these Egyptology items. And when they came to the display numbered 666, which was a display containing Horus and his mythology, and Rose began to manifest Horus, and Horus had a conversation with Aleister Crowley, and he channeled through Rose apparently until Crowley was quite disturbed by all of this and wanted Rose back, and thought maybe he'd lost her for good or she'd lost her mind because she was being possessed by this demon. But Crowley kept pursuing that experience for himself until he eventually became demon possessed and proudly would channel demons and write books through them. And his main book is called The Book of the Law. And in that book is the concept that is alive and well today in Hollywood and members of the left. And you see this on t-shirts, and it's do what thou willst, or do what thou will, or do what you want, or do what you will. In other words, if you will it, do it without regard to what's right or wrong or other people's feelings. and that this idea of the ultimate narcissism being a pathway to spiritual enhancement was something that Crowley claimed in this book and has spread down through our society like a poison. And, there's this notorious story where Crowley was mountain climbing, and he was at the bottom of the hill in the base camp, and he had his tent off to the side, kind of away from the group, and he was drinking tea when he heard an avalanche occur with dozens of men who had got caught in the avalanche. And the mountain of snow comes all the way down the mountain until it's almost right next to the tent of Crowley, and you have all of these buried and half-buried men, and they're all screaming for mercy and begging for their lives, and he's the only able-bodied person in the group that was not wiped out by this. Sick. And instead of helping anyone, he sat there and drank his tea and listened to them intently as they all slowly perished.
That's of the devil, man.
Wow. And he called that experience the most liberating experience of his life. So now you can see why this guy was so wicked, some of the things he did.
What's wrong with you for that?
So Crowley then later forsaked his own wife for a gay relationship with his black magic apprentice. And he and his male apprentice engaged in sadism and masochism. They did a lot of drugs like cocaine, opium, and hash. And in a moment of epiphany, while he was engaged in a ritualistic act of sodomy on his assistant in the desert in Egypt, he was involved in a ritual in that moment, trying to conjure up Satan himself, when the idea of sex magic came to him, and he gave birth to this doctrine that is now kind of the in and hip thing in Hollywood and higher levels of government. So Crowley
all right, I'm gonna stop this just for a second. Look, I appreciate you guys all freaking being here, and I know I am freaking crazy, and I know I jump back and forth from so many things, but I do that for you guys to, like, once you see the big lie and then you see everything, like, I'm not always getting all these put together like in a freaking row for you. But when you come to see that, it's almost like you can look at anything and start to see shit. If that makes sense or anything, I just want to tell you, I don't always have these in order.
started a cult after he had this experience, a cult based in sexual hedonism and sexual excesses and torture and sadomasochism and all of it. Bondage and discipline and everything was included here, and all tied in with occultic spiritual behavior and actions and rituals. A lot of black magic. So he started a thing called the Abbey of Thelema in Sicily. And there was a lot of drug-fueled satanic orgies, animal and human sacrifices, imprisonment and torture, blood drinking, self-mutilation and cutting. They had a thing called a nightmare room, and the walls were decorated in these murals that had images of Crowley on the wall performing acts of sex and torture on people. And they were forced to take drugs and stare at these images for hours in isolation. And it very much starts to sound like MK Ultra training and the MK Ultra programming. And they engaged in spirit cooking and mixtures of blood and semen and other bodily fluids with herbs to create different spells and with different outcomes. And they did all of this until the abbey was forcibly closed when local Sicilian authorities were tipped off to what was going on out there when one of Crowley's disciples...
Okay, I haven't even got into this. Oh my God, what am I doing? I should be talking about this. Okay, so, a priest in Italy got caught having sex with a 10-year-old little girl. 10 years old. I guess he had given the poor family over $7,000 in the past 8 years or whatever. So he had gained the trust of the family and all this. And when the guy ended up coming out and admitting everything, he literally admitted that it wasn't the first time and that she had taunted him and he thought she was 14. Well, he had been giving the parents money for many years. So how he could not know the age is insane. 70 years old. So patrons at that grocery store came out because he was doing it in a car in front of a grocery store in Italy. If it would have been a Muslim, they would have had to walk by. But since it was a priest, I guess they were able to stop and do something. Oops, now I'm in fucking trouble, aren't I? So they literally pulled him out of the car and almost beat him half to death. The police had to end up saving him. They were literally beating this guy half to death. And that's insane. But that is a little bit like you're raping a little girl, you're a 70-year-old man. Yeah. Shit kind of happens when you party naked and you're a priest in a parking lot raping a little girl. Yeah, shit happens when you party naked, pervert.
Died from an infection from drinking cat blood. Whew. That's the darkest of the dark side right there. Gosh, I almost hated making this video. But this sex magic is something now that has spread into Hollywood. This Abramovich woman, that many of you have heard about.
She's a demon.
She is directly connected to people like Jay-Z and Beyonce, to people that like John Podesta and Tony Podesta, who have close, lifelong ties with Hillary Clinton and Barack Obama. And you start to see all of this interconnection between Hollywood, the rich and famous of the Blue Bloods, the leaders, the movers and shakers, the industrialists, the mega rich, and all of our leaders, and how all of this has been compromised. And once again, we see manifesting today this evil that has somehow survived down through time. So thank you for your time, and join me next time as we delve deeper, unmasking the dark side.
All right, that dude, he is seriously a little bit nuts in a really, really good way. I am not joking. Like, he is funny. He starts his videos off as there we go. He starts his video. This is Sage Wanderer down in my van by the river. This guy is freaking hilarious. He is a very good guy. But yeah, Stage Wanderer, definitely check him out.
They're very
narrow
and they put
Should we get into some real history? Alright, I'm gonna be a dick here. Oh man. But let's listen to some real history about all this racism that's going on. How about that?
Everybody, good evening, everybody. This is Ken, and we're here with Anthony Allen. How you doing, Anthony?
I'm doing wonderful, Ken. Doing just great here in Tennessee, Oak Ridge, Tennessee, that is.
Would you introduce our guest, please?
Well, certainly.
Here, I'm going to try something. Hold on.
Barbara Mathal, and she has just returned from the 123rd Sons of the Confederacy Convention. And she is a member of the Tennessee Society Order of the Confederate Rose, and she has just been given a very nice award, the Sidney Lanier Certificate.
Okay, I'm gonna stop this right now. All right, listen. Oh, now it's gonna freaking come in clear. Okay. Yes. So there is a black man on the left, and a black woman on the right, and a white man in the middle. So, are you ready to hear some real history? Here we go.
This award was given by the North Carolina Division of the Daughters of the Confederacy, Chapter Graham, number 944. How are you doing, Barbara?
I am just great. Thank you. How are you doing?
I'm doing quite well. I just wanted you to elaborate a little bit on this certificate that you got from the North Carolina Division of the Daughters of the Confederacy.
Okay.
A really cool thing, what you're doing here by highlighting the fact that there were African Americans that were connected with the Confederacy in various different ways. So can you just tell us about this certificate?
Oh, okay. Well, the certificate is given in memory and in name of Sidney Lanier, and he was a young Confederate soldier.
You should project.
A very
that's a good
brilliant
thing.
Young man. He was an American musician. He was a poet and an author, and he he finally became a member of the Johns Hopkins University in Baltimore and taught musical meter and poetry.
Hold on, this is gonna get some real understanding.
Highly
I know this is
remembered
hard
in terms of his literature and music. Thank goodness recipients of the reward don't have to live up to his grandeur. Because
now just
certainly
listen.
I would not have gotten
what
but
just listen to what you're gonna
one
hear.
of the reasons they gave me the award is that one of the things that he did is, particularly after the war, after the Civil War and during Reconstruction, he traveled throughout the South and he told the folk stories. And many times he told them in dialect. He told them in both the dialect of poor whites as well as dialect of people of African descent.
Now, let me just ask you, let me just say this because you are a storyteller too, right?
Yes, yes.
So
and that's one of the things that I do.
Was this certificate connected to your storytelling also?
It is connected to my storytelling and to the book that I wrote. It says, Barbara is honored for researching and using her writing and acting talent to preserve and teach areas of Confederate history. She has written Fighting for Freedom, a documented story.
Damn right.
And in there I have 2 poems, one of them being A Slave's Vision.
Oh, there it comes.
And when I reenact as my 4th great-grandmother, who was a free woman of color, and she and my 4th great-grandfather lived in Wilson County at the time that the war broke out, and they were both free people of color. And so I try and reenact and tell that history because that's the history that is totally left out.
Well, let me just get Ken back in here. You heard what she said, Ken. She has a great story about her involvement with the Confederacy. What do you have to say about all this, Ken?
Well, just a couple questions come to mind. Some of the people who didn't see our previous presentations may be taken aback by the fact that a black woman could actually be a member of the Daughters of the Confederacy. I thought the Confederates were racist. But that being said, we had, I forgot the name, Mr. Newsom. What is his first name?
Yeah, Gregory.
Gregory Newsom, another black Confederate. But it turns out you guys are just, there's a lot of them. Black
and I met Gregory for the first time this year at the convention.
Imagine that, brothers.
He had a table set up. He had his pictures set up.
You've been lied
his
to.
Book set up. He gave presentations.
The Muslims came and sold to blacks here.
About what we do, and people came in. He sold lots of books. I sold quite a few of my books. So yes, it's a wonderful opportunity to shine a different light on our history.
Can you show your books? Is there a way that you can show your book cover?
Are they on Amazon.com? I can pull it up here.
Yes.
Yeah, Amazon. Yeah.
Sorry, guys. It's hard to try to keep this focus for you. I apologize. But this gets really good. They get into real history. Black owned blacks.
But when you
whites
come back,
owned whites.
I'd just like to know the logic. I mean, how do you...
No, I'm not just saying completely. I'm just saying there were black slave owners. Is all I'm saying.
Yeah,
that's the
irony of it. Because here we...
Yeah, hold up your book.
Show your book.
Can you see it?
Nope,
no.
Too close.
Hold it still for a while because you got a little...
That better?
A little glare on it.
Yeah, that's not bad. What's it called?
They're about like me.
It's called Fighting for Freedom.
They know how to use
a documented story.
Okay.
Shut up.
And it's written particularly for young people, say from kindergarten through middle school.
Yeah.
You start, if you're in kindergarten, you look at the pictures. It's in full color, and so you can, as the child grows, you can grow. You can change the way you share the book with the child.
Can you show some of the pictures on the inside? A really nice picture for us, if it's not.
Don't worry, this gets really good here pretty quick. Thank you guys for sticking along. I love you guys.
Can you see that picture?
Yeah, that's the picture on the cover there, right?
Yeah, is it less glare with it?
Yes, Les Blair, yeah.
Okay. The reason I chose this picture is that the two young men, this is a true story. It's a family story. But I knew absolutely nothing about it until I started doing family research. And these two young men, the young black man and the young white man, both went to war together. Young white man's family, or the father, owned the young black man.
When you say went to war, which side were they on?
They fought for the Confederacy, and they both received Confederate pensions.
Imagine that! Wow.
People say, no blacks fought. All of this is documented. I made sure that I have pictures of his where he applied for.
Okay, I'm sorry I'm stopping this and interrupting these beautiful people that are actually, having the balls to tell you some damn truth. You must realize everything that you've ever been taught is a lie, and I'm pretty sure you know that if you've been here. But they're going against this, and they're using this. You must, I'm sure you do, but I'm giving you a little bit more here. These people are going to give you some real damn history that you will never be taught on the History Channel or in your books. They have lied to us about everything. I love you all. Thank you so much for being here. Sorry for ranting.
His Confederate pension, so that children could take it to the school and share and help teachers understand that all of this, it's within our archives. It's not something that somebody is just making up. All of that information is there, and so I wrote that book specifically for children so that they could go in and take something into the school. Sometimes teachers can't teach it, and they don't have time because they're under time. They're very narrow, and they're constrained. But they can use books that children can do book reports on.
Why do you think people shy away from the historical fact that blacks fought with the Confederates? And do you think it's a good idea to really teach that history also?
I think it's very, very important to teach the history. Most people don't realize, when people say, well, you're talking about blacks in the Confederacy, people don't realize that during the time prior to the Civil War, 1/3 of the population were slaves. That means that one out of 3 people in the South were of African descent, and most of.
All right, I'm just gonna say I know I'm freaking nuts around. So whoever is still here, I appreciate it. I know I should have made these separate videos, but oh well, it is what it is, right?
All of them were, of African descent, were slaves. That's a big part of your population. You cannot have that many people in your population and they not have a lot of impact on your culture, your society, the way you think, what they did, the way they lived. And to act like that these people had no minds, had no loyalties, had no dreams is absurd. So consequently, when you reduce people to, they were slaves and they were cattle, every time I hear somebody say that they were treated like cattle, they weren't treated like cattle because they weren't cattle. You can't treat people.
Okay, they don't bring it up in this, but I will let you know that Irish slaves went for about 1/3 of what black slaves went for. So to anybody to call them cattle that's pathetic and not right. But if you did buy something and you paid 3 times more, would you not treat it better? Besides that, it was literally, if you look back to history, the slave trade was the Muslims. That's why we created our first navy, to stop the Muslims from raiding our ships and the slave trade.
Like cattle, they're people, and so we need to give them their integrity back, such that you can understand that just like anytime any war comes, people have to decide rather what side they're going to fight on.
You know, Barbara, the way that I like to explain that to people is there are foster parents who are abusive. There are parents who are abusive. There are teachers who are abusive. So, of course, there are going to be slave owners who are abusive. But throughout most of the antebellum South, in virtually every state, there were laws enacted
You couldn't treat them.
that forbid abuse of slaves. You know,
Yeah.
we gotta add the disclaimer. Nobody is endorsing slavery.
No,
There's
not at all.
without
Not
slavery,
at all.
We gotta say it.
Not at
Yeah.
fucking
But,
all.
And it's important
You know-
for people to understand.
Okay, yes. I have to stop here. Here's the thing is, all the states in Africa, or the countries in Africa, that had the slave trade hundreds of years ago, that were importing all of them here, there's still slave trading going on there, let alone what's going on in our own country, in our own backyard. Sorry. All right.
And that black folks in the South were getting their freedom at the whole time slavery existed. They didn't start to become free after the war and when Lincoln started the war. There were thousands of free black folks already in the South. They owned businesses. Some of them, a few of them owned slaves.
Yeah.
They had a
They did.
real impact on the economy, on the social structure, on the
They're great
religious
people.
beliefs. They had all
Except
of
they
this
did some
impact.
bad things
And
by
we
having
want
slaves.
to reduce them down to victims who had no power. That's absurd.
The other thing that I like to point out too is the complexity of human thinking. You know, these were people, and they were slaves, and some of them fought for the Confederacy. You know, but it shows the complexity of the human mind. You just can't boil it down to say that none of them fought, and they had various reasons for doing so. And that needs to be explored because, you know, all human beings are very, very complex
You know what?
creatures. We think differently.
I think this is a video I need to do all besides itself. Yeah. I don't think I meant to run everybody off or anything like that, but I think I kind of did because
You've heard, vote your
I went a
values.
little bit
You can watch your values.
to the other
Let's
spectrum
face
of
it, cable
looking at
TV is
stuff. Well, not. I mean, we're just gonna go
Over
here.
20 years ago,
There we
Alex
go.
Jones created the media platform called InfoWars. And in the decades since, it's grown into a truly remarkable institution with over 200 radio affiliates, tens of
come on.
millions of unique website visitors monthly, and a 24/7 live news TV channel broadcasting from
to set the precedent, to deplatform all Christians, all conservatives, all nationalists, all patriots. Conservatives and libertarians and everybody running for Congress and folks that are already in Congress, they're already discovering that they've been completely shadow banned. Not just 4 members of Congress, like Congressman Gates said, trying to single himself out and sound special. He's a buffoon until he wakes up. He got the report, we warned him, and then they totally banned him the next day because he told them that it's their right to ban whoever they want. No, it's not.
Idiot.
The Austin American Statesman has a giant disinfo piece filled with just absolute BS and garbage. But if you go to drudgereport.com, that article's linked, and then under it, Alex Jones slams the tactics of the tech left to shut down free speech. And look, if you scroll down, the video's been removed by Facebook.
Oh, come on.
That's right. They only blocked us from uploading or streaming on the Alexander Emmerich channel, which a fan created like 8 years ago and gave to us. It had like 2 million likes, but they've removed a bunch of them. It's like 1.6 million people that follow it. And they explain the other profiles haven't been taken down. But then we stream on those and the left freaks out, or even upload videos and they complain. And so then whoever works at Facebook, just rogue, goes and deletes that too. So look, you do a video about how you're being lied about and about how you're being censored. but we've now just updated it because it was dead. I haven't hit refresh on this computer. So see that? Even take down the video of me laying it all out. But I'm going to call Watson, or just tell one of the crew, I want to add Adam's report and Paul's article from 2 weeks ago at the top saying, must-read breakdown of how they're shadow banning all conservatives, all Christians, all libertarians, all nationalists. They've already been doing this in China. They've already been doing this in Europe. And so this is the big issue. And this is how they're going to try to steal the election. And this is how they're giving themselves all these campaign contributions, the Democrats are, at Facebook, at YouTube, at Google, at Twitter, when they say all Republicans are Nazis on the official Google fact page. Or when they put only positive news about Hillary up top, breaking their algorithm. Or when they shadow ban members of Congress who are running for re-election and don't let them talk to their constituents. They go out, the Republicans promote their Twitter, on TV, on Fox News, on everywhere. They hand out campaign cards with their Facebook or Twitter on it, and then the Democrats go in and shadow ban it. It's the equivalent in the 21st century of you pay for your phone. In this case, you pay for it by promoting it. You give them the traffic, and then they don't let you call certain phone numbers. They block who you can call. And then at first you don't notice it, that only half your Rolodex is blocked, but soon you learn it's 90%, then it's 100%. And they're doing this all, and it's criminal, and they're organized. We need to get organized, because everybody's getting censored, but nobody organizes. We're trying to organize people at a congressional level to take action, and that's why the left has made me number one enemy all over the news, everywhere, saying, take Alex Jones off Spotify. Take Alex Jones off of iTunes. We've been on for years. Take us off everything, and then lie. And then say, oh, he's being sued for things he never said. So that's the proof he has to be taken off the internet. Unbelievable. CNN's been sued more than 10,000 times, and they are fake news. And then they're the ones, a failed news network, out promoting all their alternatives to be shut down. It's unbelievably transparent. It's sickening, and they're going to lose big time. Yeah, it's a long way to the top if you want to be in a free country. You want to have a future and be free market, be successful. But the alternative is slavery. The alternative is absolutely not something we're going to settle for ever. I am your host, Alex Jones. We're going to be here for the next 4 hours. Paul Watson's going to be joining us. We've got the Patriot Prayer Group, multiracial, liberty-loving group who has been attacked by Antifa repeatedly.
Don't worry, I got this recorded with no commercials.
Beating up women, children, you name it. Even mainstream news admits that Antifa comes and they launch the attacks. Well, now Antifa says they're bringing guns. They say after the Nazis attacked us unwarrantedly.
Where are these Nazis
they actually put this out on their official Antifa page. Total upside down world. After the Nazis attacked us, it's clear we're going to have to take them out and, quote, eliminate them. And so we're bringing guns. So think about that, folks. A prayer group goes out to exercise free speech in America.
Is that the country you thought you lived in?
Fourth of July parades now in Portland, San Francisco, and other areas. These are such anti-American hate mongers. You can't wear American flags in public schools. The Ninth Circuit's ruled that it's evil and a hate symbol. The city of Austin's officially trying to change the name from Austin, saying it's racist. This video of them physically attacking a transsexual. But the left loves all that. This is so sick, so evil. Again, we're a radio show simulcast on television. If you're a radio listener, obviously, you can always go to Infowars.com/show if you want to see the free feeds. But continuing here, Gibson's going to be
Joey Gibson is this shit. Look him up.
In to discuss the prayer group that
he is a true
having the third
Christian
rally
patriot.
There. And it's so sick, it's so evil to see how vicious these people are. But getting back to the Antifa, we have an article on Infowars.com that details it all. crazy about it is when you read the article, there's no thought process to these people. There's no logic. They say, well, the Nazis keep attacking us, and they're violent, and they're attacking people of color, and they're attacking LGBT people, and so now we're going to bring guns and eliminate them. And then meanwhile, you have a prayer event that's got white people, black people, transsexuals, you name it, and they get beat up and attacked in Portland, in San Francisco, you name it. And because people fight back, they then say, the Nazis are attacking the LGBT and the black people, and so we've got to go out to the event with guns and eliminate them. It'd be like if you were walking down the street and you walk by a blue car, and a crazy person runs out from the bushes and says, get back. That's a red dragon. It will eat you. And you go, no, it's a baby blue sedan. Looks like it's an old LTD or something. They're like, no, it's a red dragon. Oh, get back. And they start stabbing it. Oh my gosh, we've got prayer vigils. We can't allow those. So they beat up people 3 events back. So then men showed up to stand up against them. They physically attacked them, get their butts kicked. And so then they show up at the next event and attack people first again. So then they get responded to. People defend. And now they're going to show up with guns because they say, we're not going to let these racist, evil people on the streets of America, we're going to deplatform them from their First Amendment because we've dehumanized them and called them all these names that aren't even true, and now we're going to take their rights, which is exactly what they do to me. They tell all these giant lies, and they have the headlines everywhere. Jones has been removed off Facebook and off YouTube. That's not even true. We were given fake strikes. The last ones they put on months ago, they had to remove and admitted were fake. Lying about what we said about Parkland. Now they've done it again, saying that I endangered a child and beat up a child. They never show where it was. They never show who it is. They just say, Jones abused a child. He's about to be banned from the internet. And then they extrapolate that in USA Today and everywhere else. Jones has got to be deplatformed. You know, the London Independent, especially the Brits hate free speech over there, the folks that control that island nation. And the UK. So they've got even more deceptive articles about Jones was banned from YouTube and Facebook. But he hasn't been banned yet from Spotify and iTunes. But he needs to be. And he needs to be banned from Amazon. The precedent of him being banned for hate speech and abusing a child is absolutely imperative that he be removed. And then nowhere in thousands of articles does it show me abusing the child or me doing any of this. It's all a giant hoax, just like they do about the president. You've got the article up on Infowars.com with the Antifa screenshots of what they say and what they do, sitting there openly talking. You guys reprint me that? Yeah, there it is. I had it here and I just can't find it. It's a Zero Hedge article on Infowars.com. Yeah, better bring our own guns. Portland Antifa plotting direct confrontation at pro-Trump rally. And then you read what they say on their official site. It's the Nazis attacked us and they beat up black people and LGBT. And now we're going to bring guns and we're going to kill people. We're going to eliminate them. Meanwhile, Antifa looks like the most evil group of ring wraiths that crawled out of the devil's rear end or something, showing up with devil tattoos, beating up women and children, and screaming N-word at police, and then frothing and going so crazy that they